The Destiny franchise has had a very slowly evolving elemental damage system. To start, it was 3 elements based on different forms of light in the world we know now. In case you ever wondered, solar is natural light, aka fire. Obvious, I know. Arc is man-made light from electricity, and Void is based upon some light-emitting nebulas found in deep space. In terms of how it affected gameplay, it was very simple. Match a damage type to a shield, and the shield is a lot easier to take down. Outside of modifiers boosting a specific element, that was the most complicated elements got. Elements in Destiny only got more complicated when the first new damage type was added with Beyond Light, 7 years into Destiny's timeline. Not only was Stasis a new unknown, but it was also the start of a new 3.0 subclass system that still is around today, each element having a unique array of available verbs that define the kind of benefits you would get. Solar was more healing and exploding, Void weakening and suppression, you get the idea. Even when Prismatic slammed the 5 elements together, they mostly stayed the same. You just had more free choice in available damage types and more buffs you could combine together. Speaking of Prismatic, a comment posted on my video discussing Prismatic and its lack of updates brought up an idea of a mixed element subclass on a smaller scale that allowed for a single light and single dark element under one subclass. It's a fairly good idea, but I thought about taking that idea a step forward and suggested Destiny take a cue from one of its biggest competitors. Who is that competitor, you may ask? Digital Extreme's flagship game, Warframe. According to some patch history, even though Warframe released to Windows in March of 2013, its current Damage 2.0 system landed in November of that year, introducing the 3 physical damage types, Impact, Puncture, Slash, but these are irrelevant. What we should focus on is the 4 primary elemental damage types of Warframe: Heat, Cold, Electric, and Toxin. These all being pretty simple in their effects. Heat is damage over time, Cold is slowing, Electric is group damage, and Toxin is damage to health. While that sounds not too different from what Destiny has, the magic lies in what happens when you combine elements together. For those that never played, in Warframe 2 elements can combine into a new damage type with different special effects. It means that altogether, with 4 combinable elements, you had a total of 10 elements to pick and mix together. So my question is, would Destiny benefit from a new array of combination elements? In concept, of course, it sounds freaking awesome, if not tricky, mostly because elemental combinations need to make sense to an extent. Like how in the last Airbender series, earthbending developed into metal and lava bending, but wouldn't make sense if earthbending translated to bloodbending. However, the different elements in Destiny could be combined more loosely using their themes and concepts instead. Take Void for instance, and its use is more for subjugation and deception, but it's also said to be associated with gravity and space-time distortion, with Strand being a connection to the Weave, able to create constructs from it from out of thin air. What's to say the combination of both isn't some sort of portal-based teleport class, being able to create portals at will, abducting enemies and disorienting them, banishing their minds to another plane, leaving their bodies vulnerable. Or taking the gravity part of Void and mixing with Arc's electric power, creating a magnetic class, the mix of intense heat and cold from solar and stasis mixing for a windy tornado class. Maybe take another cue from Warframe, combining Arc and solar together for a radiation class. Just for a few examples. Now, of course, there are issues right off the bat with making brand new subclasses. Of course, there can't be the same abilities for all 3 classes. Nothing would be exactly unique. So at minimum, you need 3 different super and melee abilities, at least 3 grenades to share across all 3 classes, and maybe 2 or 3 aspects per class, all the buffs needed to make the subclass worth it, and this day and age you need a wide array of fragments. Not to mention you need a few exotic weapons and armors to make it actually complete. So creating a new element for subclasses does have a lot of work on the to-do list before the combined element concepts even get discussed. Truth be told, the 3.0 system makes a new subclass a lot harder than back during the Taken King, when a new subclass was a super, melee, a few grenades, and some relevant perks connected to an element that already existed. Now let's talk about a hypothetical scenario. Let's say Bungie has 3 new combination elements put through concept and finalized, but not enough component parts to account for all 3 classes. So Bungie instead assigns 1 different combo element for each class. Let's say for an example, Titans get Magneto, Hunters are Portal Rippers, and Warlocks go Chernobyl. Well, there is an issue of class superiority, because if one of the new combo elements is more effective than the others, then there better be a number of buffs right around the corner for the weaker elements. It would also revive a problem that hasn't existed in Destiny since the beginning, when certain classes had access to a subclass element and others didn't. Flashback to vanilla Destiny, Titans had Striker and Defender, but Sunbreaker was not around at the start, so if an activity had solar burn on it, or an abundance of solar shields, Titans were at a natural disadvantage. It was a method of making every class valuable in a general sense, but that problem didn't exist past year 2. Plus, in this hypothetical scenario, Bungie would likely have released the first of each element with plans to expand to the other classes in the future. This theoretical problem wouldn't exist for long, theoretically. In the end, this is all very wishful thinking though. Finding a combination of elements between all available classes would be an astronomically large task, especially since Bungie's recent works have suggested they are cutting corners whenever possible. Plus, I imagine the community would want that missing third darkness subclass before any combination experiments. Maybe Destiny under a new studio would start developing new elements on a more regular basis than 1 in 7 years and 2 in 9. This whole video was asking how viable the idea of combo elements would be. Now, while I think it would be cool as hell, sadly I don't think it's in the cards for the future. Just the sheer amount of development that is required to make a few new combo elements would be huge. Making a full array of combination elements would be like rebuilding the Great Wall of China around the entire coast of Africa, which is to say a lot of work. While Bungie is developing Marathon alongside the skeleton crew maintaining Destiny, any more revolutionizing developments that fall flat may be the end of the studio. But that's all I got for now. I am curious what combination elements other folks have come up with though. If you got anything, I'd love to see your ideas in the comments down below. Once again, I know Destiny is in a real rough state, but that won't stop me from discussing theoretical scenarios, what ifs, retrospectives. After all, Destiny is still the largest of my tisms, so if there is any other topics regarding Destiny you want me to address, be sure to let me know in the comments as well. If you enjoyed this video, a like is appreciated, and even if you didn't, I appreciate you watching this far into the end. If you want to catch any more of my up and coming videos, be sure to subscribe to stay in the loop. But on that note, my name is the Mad Scorpion, and I will see you in the next video.